Hello, I'm Ariane, and we're Book Zealots. Prometheus is behind the camera today. I have my final book haul of the year. It's actually a gift from my husband. He bought me the bookshelf and then books, and he gave me a certain budget for all of these books, which I did not even get close to the budget. But anyway, so here is my haul. I have Emily Post. This is by Laura Claridge, and she started, thank you honey, she started the Americans for Etiquette, or Etiquette for Americans, so you could write to the newspaper and ask, Dear Emily, or Dear Miss Post, do I have a question about, what do we do after dinner, what's the etiquette for whatever. And so this is a book about her. And because this was recommended to me, I had to pick this up. And this is Our Mutual Friend by Charles Dickens. So I have read Christmas Carol, Oliver Twist. I'm pretty sure I have read Tale of Two Cities in high school, I think. I'm not sure, but I know I haven't read this. So. And Middlemarch by George Eliot. I'm pretty sure I have not read this. And Moloka'i, I think, by Alan Brennert. This has been on, I saw it all over the place last year on BookTube, and I did not feel inspired to pick it up until just recently. Sarah at a Sarah's Nightstand had talked about this, and I went, oh, I didn't know that about that book. Oh, that actually sounds pretty interesting. Ta-da! Got it. Crazy Horse by Mari Sandoz, The Strange Man of the Oglalas. So I picked this up because there's another booktuber who was talking about Indigenous November, which I hadn't even known about because I thought November was nonfiction November. So next year I can pick this up and be prepared. Edith and Woodrow by Phyllis Lee Levin, and I ordered this, and the picture had a dust jacket, but it arrived without a dust jacket. So, oh well. This is a book that Prometheus read last summer. Not this past crazy summer, last summer when life was normal. He highly recommended this book to me, and so when I saw it and it was on sale, we were able to get it. And this is by Jared Diamond, and I'm pretty sure Prometheus will want to keep this book, but I'm counting it as part of this haul. The Forbidden Schoolhouse, the true and dramatic story of Prudence Crandall, I do believe that's Crandall, and her students, by Suzanne Germain. Now, I don't know where this takes place, but this woman starts a school for African American children and in Connecticut, and deals with a lot of backlash. And one of the things, this was a surprise to me. I had not anticipated pictures in this book. Oh, did you want to do a close-up? Sorry. So that is obviously Samuel Clemens, also known as Mark Twain. And I don't know what his connection is, other than I knew, he built a house in Connecticut. But this, I'm really looking forward to starting this. The Endless Steppe. I remember in 5th grade, my teacher reading this to us after recess. After recess, she always read a book to the class. We had 5th graders on one side, 6th graders on the other side, and I was not an auditory child. I am not an auditory adult. Don't even get me started on how hard it is to hear people that wear masks. I cannot hear them. I am completely crippled. Anyway, okay, so went off on a tangent there. There are parts about this book that I still remember, and it has been ages, with dinosaur time ages, really not that long ago, and I had tried reading this to Prometheus when he was younger, and life happened, and I had to return it to the library. So for middle grade March, I'm reading this. $14.91, because you know there are a lot of booktubers talking about this book, so I had to pick it up. New Revelations of the Americas before Columbus. A lot of people think he arrived on North America. Having a Merry Heart in a Martha World by Joanna Weaver. How many of y'all are too busy to sit down and pray or read the Bible? I do it every single day, but I'm a Martha. That's just my personality. So anyways, okay. I have never heard of Eden Southworth. Had never heard of this book, Ishmael. My friend on the West Coast recommended this book to me, and I had such a hard time finding it, but then she explained, actually she just gave me this information, I think, instead of the last name. Anyway, once she gave me the full name of the author, I was able to find it and pick it up, and I'm very excited. I'm so intrigued. Another female author, you know, in a time when female authors supposedly were not well received by publishers. They were given a little bit of harassment, maybe. The Jew Store, a family memoir by Stella Suberman, and it has a picture of a little boy looking at a store, and then this little girl is pointing at him. I don't know if they're related or what the deal is, but the Bronsons were the first Jews ever to live in the small town of Concordia, Tennessee, a town consisting of one main street, one bank, one drugstore, one picture show, one feed and seed store, one hardware store, one beauty parlor, one barbershop, one blacksmith, and many Christian churches. This kind of sounds like our town, doesn't it? We're not in Tennessee, but we're close. So I'm looking forward to that as well. Elizabeth Gaskell's The Life of Charlotte Bronte, and I just finished the Bronte's Myth, and it was basically about this book. So I had to buy this book to get the information to fill in the blanks for the other book that I read. Change Your Brain, Change Your Life, the Breakthrough Program for Conquering Anxiety, Depression, Obsessiveness, Anger, and Impulsiveness by Daniel G. Ehman, MD. Now, I don't have anxiety, but I have experienced anxiety. Very strange, let me just say. It was very, very strange. Depression, I do not have depression, but I have experienced depression. I guess pretty much you can say postpartum depression. Obsessiveness. Well, some people might say I have an obsessiveness for books. We'll get back to that in a minute. Anger. I've definitely had anger issues that I have had to deal with. And impulsiveness. It depends on what you describe as impulsiveness, like an impulsive to buy stuff or impulsive behavior, or that really depends. Now, I did have impulsiveness for anger and had to reel that in and put myself in check. But why I bought this is because it fascinates me as far as learning more about the brain. That is really something we don't know much about, and so any information that comes out, I like to read about it. Eva Braun, Life with Hitler by, and I'm going to butcher this name, I'm sorry, Heike B. Gortemaker? Gortemaker? I don't know, sorry. Alice Roosevelt Longworth, From White House Princess to Washington Power Broker by Stacy A. Cordery. I'm not even sure I knew about Alice Roosevelt. to read it. Hotel on the Corner of Bitter and Sweet. I've seen this book for ages. Oh my goodness, when was this published? And I never did pick it up. 2009. I've known about this book since 2009, and I just finally bit the bullet and said, yes, let's get it. Schindler's List by Thomas Keneally. Part of the reason why I wanted to get this is because there were a lot of people collecting names to go after them if a certain person became POTUS and was going to go after them. What world are we living in? Seriously? No, that's not acceptable. Okay, sold on a Monday. This is also not acceptable. Who sells their children? Okay, sorry. By Kristina McMorris, and I think it was Krista at Books and Jams who had mentioned this, and I know it's going to be heartbreaking, and I know I'm going to get angry and impulsive, like throwing books, I might. So, yeah. There's a certain amount of anger that is acceptable. And selling your children, really? I don't get that. Okay. This book, I heard Olive, at a Book Olive, recently mentioned, and I had heard about it at the beginning of the school year. I was trying to get it for Prometheus for school. I couldn't find it, and then she mentioned it, and I went, oh yeah, I'm going to try and look that up again and see if I can find it. And well, lo and behold, I was able to get my hands on it. So, How to Win Friends and Influence People, the Only Book You Need to Lead You to Success by Dale Carnegie. And I'm not interested in influencing people, but I'm definitely interested in having more friends. I mean, who isn't, especially in this time? Okay, but I digress. I have two more books. 84 Charing Cross, or is it Charing Cross Road by Helene Hanff. This wasn't the cover I wanted. I'm pretty disappointed that this wasn't the cover I wanted. But it's an older cover, so, and it still has the posted, like, you know, the postal marks and stuff, so I'm okay. I'm okay with that. It's not as pretty, but I'm okay with it. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the 60s and 70s, and I don't like those time periods, those decades, so that's probably why. But still kind of cool. Okay. The Brain That Changes Itself, Stories of Personal Triumph from the Frontiers of Brain Science. So pretty much what you think, what you are, what you think. What's that Native American saying? The dog you feed is the dog that survives. So if you have a good dog and a bad dog, if you feed the good dog more, then it survives. And if you feed the evil dog more, then the evil dog survives. So that's kind of what this reminded me of. I don't know if that's what it's regarding, but, you know, we do have more power than we give ourselves credit for. This is by Norman Doidge, medical doctor. I don't know if I'm saying that name right. Okay, one last thing. My friend sent me a cup. Oh, did you want to share that?
Yes.
Why are you dressed like that?
Cup first.
Okay. My friend sent me a gift for reaching 200 subscribers. And she's on the West Coast. Thank you so much. Appreciate you so very much. Thank you. Thank you. So I have no shelf control. And she put some tea bags in here, all different flavors too. It's actually three different flavors, two of each. So we have salted caramel, we have pure peppermint, I love peppermint, and maple apple cider. And I thought it was hilarious when I received it, and then she sent a letter with it as well, and so I'm still reading the letter, but I wanted to share this. However, it also convicted me. As a Christian, I don't want to give the implication that I don't have any self-control over what I bring into my home, and that I, you know, have a problem buying books. And I had never thought of it in those terms, that this could be viewed that I have a problem buying books. So I just want to let you all know that this will probably be my last haul for this year. I'm not sure if I will have any book hauls for next year unless they're gifts or something. And I will be reading the backlisted books that I have currently on my list. And you already know, if you've been following me for a while, that I'm trying to unhaul books. I don't have a problem unhauling books at all. I don't keep the books that I read. It's just not my thing. So my library consists of books that I still need to read. And I like it that way. But I don't want to give the wrong impression either. So Prometheus here is dressed as the Unabomber.
The reason for this is very simple. I was reading the Atomic Energy Desk book right after reading about the midnight in Chernobyl, and therefore I decided to dress the part of somebody who is in Chernobyl. I did not have petal respirator. This was an unfortunate fact of living in the United States and not Soviet Union. This is by John F. Hargerton and Edward A. Mason. This is a very good book. Talks about everything from the refining of the fuel to the design of the reactor to how much bang for your buck if you build bomb. It is very fascinating. Yeah, this is really all that I came for. No, yeah, that's all.
Okay, so I got Prometheus a book, but I also got a book for my grandkids that is so adorable, and I don't know how I will share that book. Maybe I can take pictures of it or something, but I want it to be a surprise for Thanksgiving American celebration. So that's pretty much it. That's all we have. Thank you for visiting. Stay safe, stay sane. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving if you're in... What are you doing, babe? If you're in America, enjoy your family, because we don't know how long we have. God bless. Bye.